Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Vaishnavi Bisht, and I'll be demonstrating how to set up different IoT devices in a smart home network using Cisco Packet Tracer. Okay, so Cisco Packet Tracer is a simulation tool designed by the Cisco systems, and it is used for creating different network topologies and configure different kinds of network and end devices. So if you want to download Cisco Packet Tracer, you can go to netacad.com. Netacad.com. You can sign up to this networking academy, Cisco Networking Academy, and then once you've signed in, so you go to resources and you go to download Packet Tracer, and you can download the Packet Tracer. You can go through these instructions, and you can download the Cisco Packet Tracer. If you're a Windows user, we have Cisco Packet Tracer offers both 64-bit download and a 32-bit download. For Linux, it is 64-bit download, and for macOS version 7.3.1, we have Cisco Packet Tracer download. So depending on your operating system, you can download the Cisco Packet Tracer and you can follow along. So yeah. Is my screen visible? Like Cisco Packet Tracer, can you see your home network over here? If anybody can tell me in the chats. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so I've already created a setup of a home network in Cisco Packet Tracer. Okay, and we have all these different home devices over here. We have a smart light lamp, a coffee machine, garage door, a smart door, smoke detector, solar panel, battery, and the most importantly, we have this home gateway here. So to add any kind of device in a smart network, we first need to add the home gateways. Okay, if you click on this home gateway device over here, just left click on it, you can see, if you go to the physical tab and we zoom in, okay, it has 4 Ethernet ports and 1 internet port. This one internet port is connected to this cable modem over here on the left hand side, you can see, which is connected to the cluster. And we have 4 Ethernet ports. 1 Ethernet port is connected to the solar panel. The black line on the right, going towards the right, is connected to the solar panel. Okay. And if you go to configuration, we have the home gateway provides an interface for both internet, LAN, and wireless connections. For LAN, we will be needing this IP address of home gateway to connect any device to this gateway. And if you'll be connecting any wireless device, we have the authentication set to WPA2 PSK, and the passkey is my secret key. You can change it accordingly. You can keep it something else as well. For demonstration's sake, I've kept it like my secret key. And again, the encryption type is AES. So this is about the home gateway. So before setting up any network, we need to first set up the home gateway device. You can find this device over here. If you go to the bottom left hand corner of the workspace, you go to network devices, you go to wireless device, and you can find this home gateway over here. Yeah. So first I'll be showing how we set up wired devices. So again, in the bottom left hand corner, go to end devices here, go to home, and you can see here there are different kind of devices available. So let's, for example, select a lawn sprinkler. You can place it anywhere in the workspace. For visibility's sake, I am placing it over here. And if you left click on it, to see its specification and configuration, you left click on it. Okay, so we have it here. All these specification of a lawn sprinkler device. And if we want, we can edit this as well. There's an option to edit these specification. If you want, you can do that. And you go to configuration tab over here. If you go to configuration tab, and let's change the display name to smart _1. There cannot be any spaces. If you put any space, it turns red. The name should not have any white spaces. And select the IoT server to home gateway. Select home gateway as your IoT server. And before doing anything, let's first connect it. Go to connections. We need to first connect it to the home gateway and select, again, in the bottom left hand corner, you go to connections and you select copper straight through wire. Left click on the lawn sprinkler. You can select fast Ethernet 0, and then you left click on the home gateway. And out of any ports, you can select, out of the any available ports, you can select any of these 2, 3, 4. You'll select Ethernet 2. Okay. Again, left click on the lawn sprinkler to configure the network settings. Okay. So again, you go to configuration tab, you go click on fast Ethernet 0. And over here, you can, all these options are, checkboxes are already ticked. If it's not, you have to tick them, you have to check them. For port status, make sure it's on, and for the bandwidth and duplex as well. Okay. So for IP configuration, you can either give an IP address to it and give a subnet mask to it, or you can simply click on DHCP and it will automatically assign an IP address and a subnet mask. Okay, so the IP address and subnet mask are assigned to this smart sprinkler. Let's see if it works. So what we can see is, over here we can see there's a tablet that I've placed. Through this tablet, I can access all these devices that I've placed on this smart network. So you click on tablet, you go to desktop tab, and you click on the web browser. And in the URL, I will type the IP address of the home gateway. It asks for a username and a password. Okay, so you can see all these devices. Let me just. So we can see all these devices that are connected to the home gateway. We have a smoke detector, garage door, smart door, and we added a smart sprinkler as well. And if you click the status, you can see over here, we can access all of this via the tablet. Smart lamp off, dim, on, works perfectly. The fan as well, you can see it changes. So the garage door, so all these devices are connected to this IP address, this home gateway. Let's close this tab. Again, if I have to add one more device, again, go to end devices, go to home, and you have all these appliances available. Let's add, for example, window. This is okay. Window over here. So we have placed the window icon on the workspace. Then go to connections and select copper straight through wire. Okay. Left click on this icon, select fast Ethernet 0, and then you can left click on the home gateway. Okay, we have 2 ports left, so let's go with Ethernet 3. You configure the device, the window, so you left click on it and the configuration tab will open up. We have all these specifications are listed here of the window, usage, features, direct control, local control. If you want, you can edit it. Go to configuration, go to settings. Okay, let's change its name to smart window. You can change it anyhow you want. And make sure that your IoT server is set to home gateway. And when you go to fast Ethernet 0, all you have to do is set the IP configuration to DHCP. If you want, you can assign an IP address, but just to avoid any confusion here, let's select DHCP so that it can automatically assign an IP address and a subnet mask. Okay, so it's as simple as that. And to check if our device is functioning or not, if it's connected to the network or not, you click on this tablet over here, resize the window, and go to web browser. In the URL, you place the IP address of the home gateway. So you can see here we have a smart window here as well. The devices are added successfully to this home gateway. One works perfectly. So this is how you can place wired devices, and suppose you want to place a wireless device. So let's see how we can do that. Again, in the bottom left hand corner, you go to end devices, you go to home. You can select any of the appliances you want. For example, let's select a webcam, and you can place it anywhere on the workspace. So to make this device, to establish a wireless connection between this webcam and the home gateway, left click on the webcam icon, and its configuration tab will open up. Okay, we have it here. So click on this advanced option here. So when you click on advanced, you get 3 additional tabs: IO configuration, thing editor, and programming. So you go to IO configuration and change the network adapter to PTIOT-NM1W. This is used for wireless network connection. And once we have done that, go to configuration. Again, set the IT server to home gateway. And if you want, you can change the name as well. Make sure there is no space in the name, otherwise it will cause an error. And over here we can see the interface is changed to wireless 0. Earlier we used to get Ethernet 0 as the interface in the previous devices, 2 devices that we have connected. Over here it is set to wireless 0 because we changed the network adapter to PTIOT-NM1W. So you click on wireless 0, and if you guys remember earlier when we this is the home gateway. This is the configuration tab of home gateway here, and it offers LAN 3 interfaces: internet, LAN, and wireless. So if you click on wireless, you can see here it offers WPA2 PSK security, and the pass key is my secret key. So let's copy it. And this is a smart camera configuration tab. You go to wireless, go to configuration tab, click on wireless, and in the authentication tab, let's select WPA2 PSK, and the passkey phrase would be my secret key. So that's all we have to do. IP configuration is set to DHCP. IPv6 configuration is already automatically set to DHCP. So let's close this tab, and so over here you can see there's this wireless connection that has been established between home gateway and the webcam. So if you want to see if this device is working or not, again, click on the tablet icon. Let me just again resize this. Okay. Go to desktop tab and click on web browser. This is not in URL. You will enter the IP address of home gateway. So let's enter the IP address of the home gateway. Enter the username and password. So we have here the smart camera as well. This device has been successfully connected with the home gateway. If you want, works perfectly. You see there's a red light over here. You can access all these devices on your tablet. So let's connect one more device, wireless. Again, in the bottom left hand corner of your workspace, go to End Devices, click on Home, and all these appliances are available over here. You can place any of them on the workspace. For example, I've selected a wind detector. So to establish a wireless connection between a wind detector and the home gateway, left click on the wind detector to open its configuration tab, configuration settings, sorry. So we have all these specification of the wind detector listed over here. You can go through it if you are following along. You can go through these specification if you want. And again, first you go to click on Advanced tab. So we get 3 additional tabs over here: IO configuration, Thing editor, and programming. So in IO configuration, change the network adapter to PT-IoT-NM1W. Okay, and then you go to configuration. You can change the display name however you want it to be. And remember to change the IP server to home gateway. Remember to select that. And in the interface, we have this wireless 0. So the authentication will be set to WPA2PSK, and the passkey was my secret key. This was already set in the home gateway or the home gateway connection. Okay, so IP configuration and IPv6 configuration are already set by default, and make sure your port status is on. And okay, so you close this tab. You can see here this wireless connection is already established. Check if this device is actually connected and actually working properly. Again, click on the tablet. In the desktop tab, you go to the web browser, and in the URL, enter the URL of, you enter the IP address of the home gateway. Enter the username and password here, and see we have the smart wind detector. The device is visible here, and it's working. So this is how you can place wired and both wired and wireless devices in a smart home network. And again, to suppose if you want to access these devices from somewhere outside your house or off campus, so how for that we will have a server. We'll place a server, so a registration server. Again, in the bottom left hand corner, you go to End Devices, click on End Devices again, and you can place the server. Again, you can place it anywhere on the workspace. I'm placing it here on the left hand side. Go to Connections and select the copper straight through wire. Left click on the server, you click on Fast Ethernet 0, and then you left click on the home gateway. And okay, we have only one port left here, Ethernet 4. So let's connect it to that. Let's make sure it's. So to configure the server, left click on the server. First go to Services tab and make sure in the services, make sure your IoT select registration server is on. Go to Services tab, in the services, select the IoT server, make sure your registration server is on. And then you can go to Configuration tab. You can set this gateway DNS to DHCP. If you want, you can provide the address yourself as well. But just to avoid any confusion, because there are so many devices over here, we'll select DHCP so that it automatically assigns the gateway and DNS server. If you want, you can change the name of the server as well. Okay, so it's already set here. And to check if our configuration is properly set or not, you can go to the Desktop tab, and you can see here the IP configuration is set to DHCP. The IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway, it's already, or every other network configuration is already assigned. Okay, so you close this tab, and suppose you go to this tablet. Okay, first in the registration server, the IP configuration is 192.168.25.112. So let's remember that. Go to the tablet, click on web browser. In the URL, type the IP address of the registration server. Okay, so we haven't set up an account on the registration server, so let's do that. Sign up now. You can sign up your account. You can see there are no IoT devices here because we have not we have not connected any IoT devices to the registration server. So let's do that. Let's see how we can do that. Suppose we have this fan over here. Left click on this fan icon. It will open the configuration tab. Okay, go to configuration. Earlier we used to select in the IoT server, we used to select the home gateway. Now we'll select the remote server. Enter the IP address of the server and the username and the password. Okay. Again, to connect any device with the registration server, you go to the configuration tab of that device. You select home remote server as the IoT server. You enter the server address of the IP address of the server as the server address, and enter the username and password which we using which you created the account. And then you can click on connect. Okay, it's connected now. Let's see if it's working. Click on tablet. Let's click on tablet. Go to web browser. Okay, we have entered the IP address on go. You can see there's one device here, it's the smart fan, and works perfectly. This is how you can add more devices to your registration server. Suppose if you have to add one more device, suppose the garage door. Left click on the garage door to open its configuration settings. Resize this. Go to configuration. In the IT server, select remote server. Again, select remote server. Enter the server address, username, and the password. And then click on connect. Okay, let's see if it's connected to the server or not. Go to tablet, we click on web browser, enter the URL. In the URL, you need to type in the IP address of the registration server. Earlier, we used to type in the IP address of the home gateway, but now we'll be typing in the address of the registration server. So to check if our devices, if our garage door device is connected to the registration server or not. So in the username, password, yeah, you can see here, garage door is added, the device is added to the registration server, and it works perfectly. That's how you can set up the registration server and connect your devices to the remote server or the registration server. And if you want, you can create your own devices as well. You can also do that. So for that, again, in the bottom left hand corner, you go to components, select boards, and over here you can see this option of thing. So you place it here on the workspace, left click it, left click on it, it will open its configuration tab just like the other devices, just like it happens with other devices. Okay, so nothing is written here because this is some random device that you can create. You can add the specification here. For that, you can edit the device, and if you click on advanced here, again, whenever we click on advanced, we get 3 additional tabs of IO configuration, thing editor, and programming. So earlier we had seen the IO configuration. We have used IO configuration to establish a wireless connection between the device and the home gateway. So first you go to thing editor. You can change the component name to, suppose I want to add speakers. Yeah, And then in the slot mapping, select digital. You can select any slot number. Now let's keep it slot 1. If you want to add an image to it, you can click on new. So Packet Tracer already has these images. So again, if you don't find any image similar to your device, you can download it and you can select that image. So okay, we can see here it changes, the icon of the device changes, and to make sure that it works, again you'll need to add a source file here, a Python source file here in the programming tab, so that it can work again. So this is how you can create a new device. And if you want to save this template, in the menu bar you go to tools. On the top you go to tools, you click on custom devices dialog, click on select, and then you select this new device that you have created. So let me name the template as yeah. And if you want, you can enter any description over here, and you can select where the icon can be found. Routers, boards. I'll select home and click on add. You can save it over here. You already have Cisco Packet Tracer templates location. It's just saved in .ptd format. And save. Okay. So again, if you go to end devices and you go to home, that's where I checked to place it. So we can see here we have the speaker device over here. Again, to make sure that it works, you'll need to add a source file to it. You need to write the code for it. Like if you can see here, if you click on any device that is already provided by the Cisco Packet Tracer, so you go to programming, you can see there's a Python source file here. So it tells how the device should work, or how it should. So that's how the camera works. We have this code here. So again, to configure your device, you can add a code here, so that like however you want it to work. So you can add a source file, and then you can configure it to the network.